everyone. Welcome back to the English Leap podcast, your English podcast for real conversation practice and easy English in daily life.
Yes, the place where we tackle the conversations that feel a little uncomfortable so you don't have to feel that way in English.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Great to have you with us today.
So, Jake, be honest. Do you find it awkward talking about money, even in your first language?
Oh, completely. Splitting a bill with friends, negotiating a salary, even just saying, I can't afford that right now. All of it makes me a little uncomfortable, honestly.
So relatable. And today's topic is exactly about that. We're talking about how to talk about money in English without feeling awkward.
This is such an important real-life skill because money conversations happen constantly. Splitting bills, talking about salaries, borrowing or lending, negotiating prices, and discussing financial goals.
True. And honestly, money is one of those topics that feels universally a little sensitive in almost every culture and language, so it's completely normal to feel some hesitation here.
Exactly. But the good news is, English actually has a lot of really useful, softer phrases specifically designed to make money conversations feel more comfortable and natural.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about salary, splitting bills, borrowing money, and financial goals, all with confidence and without that awkward, uncomfortable feeling.
Quick favor before we start. If you're enjoying this podcast, please like this episode, subscribe, and share it with a friend learning English.
And comment below. Tell us, on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable are you talking about money? We genuinely love reading your comments.
All right, let's get into it.
Okay, let's start by understanding why this topic specifically triggers so much discomfort.
Great question. Reason 1. Cultural taboo. In many cultures, money is considered a private, sometimes even impolite topic, especially with people outside close family.
True. And this creates a habit of avoidance, which then makes the actual vocabulary and phrases feel unfamiliar and awkward when the topic does come up.
Reason 2. Fear of judgment. Many people worry that sharing financial details, income, debt, spending habits, might lead to being judged, compared, or seen differently.
Reason 3, fear of seeming rude when asking others about money, like splitting a bill or asking someone to repay a loan.
Reason 4, simply not knowing softer, more natural phrases, which pushes learners toward either avoiding the topic completely or using overly blunt language that can feel harsh.
Great breakdown. The good news, again, is that once you know the right vocabulary and tone, money conversations become so much more comfortable and honestly even necessary and healthy, especially in professional and shared living situations.
Beautifully said. Let's build that toolkit now.
Okay, let's build a general approach for softening money conversations, one you can apply across many different situations.
Step 1. Use softening language, similar to what we covered in our disagreement episode. I don't mean to pry, but this might be a bit direct, but I hope this isn't too forward, but...
Okay, let's build a full example. This might be a bit direct, but do you mind if I ask roughly what this role pays? No worries if you'd rather not share.
Perfect. Respectful, clear, and gives the other person an easy, comfortable way out if they'd prefer not to answer.
Great example. Let's build another one, this time answering rather than asking. I'd rather not share the exact number, but I will say it's a pretty competitive salary for this industry.
Beautiful, honest, boundary-setting answer without feeling rude or defensive. Great tool, listeners, for both asking and answering money-related questions comfortably.
Let's build your vocabulary toolbox, organized by category, so you're prepared for almost any money-related conversation.
Income vocabulary, salary, a fixed regular payment, usually monthly or yearly. Wage, often used for hourly pay. Income, a general term for money earned. Take-home pay, the amount left after taxes and deductions.
Spending vocabulary, expenses, regular costs like rent or groceries. Budget, a plan for how you'll spend money. Splurge, to spend more than usual on something, often for enjoyment. Tight budget, having limited money to spend.
Saving vocabulary. Savings, money set aside for the future. Save up for, to gradually collect money for a specific goal. Emergency fund, money saved specifically for unexpected situations. Nest egg, a more informal, warm term for long-term savings.
Debt vocabulary. Debt, money owed to someone. Loan, borrowed money that needs to be repaid. Pay off, to fully repay a debt. In the red, meaning owing money or having a negative balance.
Great vocabulary, listeners, covering income, spending, saving, and debt, 4 really common categories in everyday money conversations.
Let's build a full example combining several of these. My income's decent, but with rent and other expenses, it's honestly a pretty tight budget most months. I'm trying to build up my emergency fund, but it's been slow going.
Beautiful, honest, natural example, listeners, showing how these vocabulary words fit together in a genuine, relatable sentence.
Let's focus specifically on salary conversations, since this is often the most sensitive money topic of all.
Great point. Useful phrases for keeping things general without sharing exact numbers. It's a pretty competitive salary for the industry. I'm comfortable with what I make. It's enough to live comfortably, though I wouldn't say I'm rolling in it.
Great informal idiom, meaning to have a lot of money. Let's also cover phrases for gently declining to share exact numbers. I'd rather keep that private, if that's okay. I'm not really comfortable sharing exact numbers, but happy to chat about the role generally.
Great, respectful boundary-setting phrases. Now, let's flip it. Useful phrases for asking about salary appropriately, mainly in professional contexts like interviews or salary negotiations. What's the salary range for this position? Could you share the compensation range for this role?
Great professional phrasing. Notice asking about a range rather than a specific number often feels more comfortable and standard in professional settings, especially during job searches.
Let's build a full example of a salary negotiation moment. Based on my experience and the market rate for this role, I was hoping for a salary in the range of X to Y. Is there flexibility there?
Beautiful, confident, professional phrasing, listeners, showing how to advocate for yourself clearly and respectfully.
Let's move to another common, sometimes awkward situation, splitting bills with friends and borrowing or lending money.
Great topic. Useful phrases for splitting a bill. Should we just split it evenly? Let's split the bill. I'll cover the tip if you get the rest. Can we split this 50-50?
Great, simple phrases. Let's also cover situations where the split isn't even, like if someone ordered less. Do you want to just split evenly, or should we calculate based on what we each got? No worries, let's just keep it simple and split it evenly.
Great flexible phrasing, giving both options comfortably. Now let's talk about borrowing and lending money, often one of the more delicate money topics.
Useful phrases for asking to borrow money. Would you mind lending me some money until payday? Could I borrow $20? I'll pay you back this weekend. I'm a little short this week. Could you cover me and I'll pay you back?
Great, honest, direct, but polite phrasing. Let's also cover phrases for offering to lend money. Don't worry about it. I've got this one. Sure, no problem. Just pay me back whenever. I'm happy to help out. Don't stress about it.
Beautiful, warm phrases, listeners. And let's also cover a slightly trickier situation, gently reminding someone about money they owe you. Hey, just a friendly reminder about that $20 from last week. Whenever's convenient. No rush, but just wanted to mention the money from dinner last week.
Great, gentle, non-confrontational phrasing using just a friendly reminder and no rush, which really softens what could otherwise feel an uncomfortable request.
Beautifully covered. Let's now talk about financial goals and saving.
Let's cover a more positive, forward-looking money topic, talking about financial goals and saving plans.
Great addition. Useful phrases. I'm saving up for a trip next year. I'm trying to build a bigger emergency fund. I've been putting a little aside each month for a house deposit.
Great phrases. Putting aside, a lovely natural phrasal verb specifically for saving gradually.
Let's also cover phrases for describing your general money mindset or approach. I'm pretty careful with money. I like to plan ahead. I'm working on being better about budgeting. I used to be pretty impulsive with spending, but I've gotten a lot more disciplined.
Great, honest phrases. And notice that last one connects nicely to our earlier episode on bad habits. Used to, describing a past pattern that's changed.
Let's build a full example. I'm trying to save up for a down payment on an apartment. I've gotten a lot more disciplined about budgeting lately, though I do still splurge occasionally. Life's too short to never treat yourself.
Beautiful, balanced example, listeners. Honest about goals and discipline while still keeping a light, relatable tone.
Mistake 1. Asking overly direct salary or income questions too early with someone you don't know well. How much do you make? Can feel invasive from a new acquaintance. Softer alternatives like discussing salary ranges in professional contexts feel more appropriate.
True. Save direct income questions for close friends, family, or clearly professional contexts like salary negotiations.
Mistake 2. Over-apologizing when declining to share financial details, which can actually make the moment feel more awkward. A simple, calm, "I'd rather keep that private" is enough. No need for a long, nervous explanation.
Mistake 3. Using overly blunt language when asking to borrow or discussing debt. Give me money instead of would you mind lending me some money? Remember, softening words like would you mind and could I make requests feel much more polite.
Mistake 4. Forgetting to follow up or acknowledge repayment, which can create unnecessary tension in friendships. A simple, "Thanks again for covering me last week," goes a long way in maintaining trust and goodwill.
Mistake 5. Comparing your financial situation directly to someone else's in conversation, which can feel uncomfortable or competitive. Focusing on your own goals and experience rather than direct comparison keeps conversations more comfortable for everyone.
Beautifully covered, listeners. Small adjustments, much more comfortable money conversations overall.
Quick cultural note before our example conversations, because attitudes toward discussing money genuinely differ across English-speaking cultures.
True, in the United States, salary and financial topics are becoming increasingly openly discussed, especially among younger generations, partly due to a growing movement towards salary transparency in workplaces.
In the UK, money remains a more traditionally private topic, often considered a bit impolite to discuss openly, especially specific numbers, even among fairly close friends.
In Australia, attitudes tend to be fairly relaxed and direct, similar to their general communication style, though salary specifics are still often kept private in casual settings.
And in many parts of India and South Asia, money conversations can vary significantly, sometimes quite open within extended family or close community circles, while still maintaining more formal boundaries in professional or unfamiliar settings.
Great context, listeners, because it really shows there's no single universal comfort level, so reading the specific relationship and setting really matters here, more than with many other topics.
Beautifully summarized. Now let's cover a few useful idioms before our example conversations.
Let's cover idioms that come up naturally in money conversations.
First, tight budget or tight on money, meaning having limited funds. I'm pretty tight on money this month.
Second, break the bank, meaning to spend an excessive amount, usually used in negative form to mean something is affordable. This dinner won't break the bank, don't worry.
Third, live within your means, meaning to spend only what you can afford, not more. I try to live within my means even when it's tempting to splurge.
Fourth, money doesn't grow on trees, a classic idiom reminding someone that money is limited and should be spent carefully, often said to children but used humorously among adults too.
Fifth, penny pincher, meaning someone who's very careful, sometimes overly careful, with spending money. He's a bit of a penny pincher, but honestly, it's served him well.
Sixth, splash out, a British English phrase meaning to spend generously on something special. We decided to splash out on a nice hotel for our anniversary.
Let's build an example combining a few. I try to live within my means most of the time. I'm honestly a bit of a penny pincher, but for our anniversary, we decided to splash out a little. It didn't break the bank, and it was totally worth it.
Perfect, natural example, listeners. These idioms instantly add warmth and fluency to money-related conversations.
Okay, first one, splitting a bill at a restaurant with friends.
Should we just split this evenly or calculate based on what everyone got?
Honestly, let's just keep it simple and split evenly. It's close enough.
Sounds good to me. I'll grab the tip if you cover the rest.
Deal. Sounds fair.
Great, short, natural example, listeners, showing how quickly and comfortably bill splitting can happen with the right simple phrases.
Now, let's do a second one, a salary negotiation during a job interview.
So, do you have a salary range in mind for this role?
Based on my experience and research into the market rate, I was hoping for something in the range of $65,000 to $75,000. Is there flexibility within that?
That's actually within our budget for this role. We can definitely discuss specifics further.
That's great to hear. Thank you for the flexibility.
Beautiful, confident, professional example, listeners, showing exactly how to advocate for fair compensation respectfully.
Let's do a third one, asking a friend to borrow a small amount of money.
Hey, would you mind lending me $20? I forgot my wallet at home.
Of course, no problem at all.
Thank you so much. I'll pay you back tomorrow, promise.
Honestly, don't even worry about it. It's not a big deal.
I appreciate that, but I'll still pay you back.
Great, warm example, listeners, showing how borrowing small amounts between friends can feel completely comfortable with the right tone.
Let's do one final example, a slightly deeper conversation about financial goals between partners.
I've been thinking I really want to start saving more seriously for a house.
I think that's a great goal. What were you thinking in terms of a timeline?
Maybe 2 to 3 years if we're disciplined about it. I know it might mean cutting back on some things.
That makes sense to me. I'm on board. Maybe we can set up a joint savings account specifically for it.
I love that idea. It'll help us stay accountable together.
See, listeners, notice how naturally and warmly this deeper financial goal conversation flowed? Honest, collaborative, and completely free of awkwardness.
Quick FAQ before practice time from a listener named Kenji. Is it rude to ask a coworker how much they make?
Great question, Kenji. Generally, yes. It's usually considered a bit too direct, especially in more traditional workplace cultures. Discussing general salary ranges for a role or industry feels much more comfortable and appropriate than asking a specific coworker directly.
True. Save direct income questions for close friends, family, or clearly professional contexts like salary negotiations.
Next, from a listener named Amara. What if a friend never pays me back and I feel awkward bringing it up?
Understandable discomfort, Amara. Using our gentle reminder phrases, hey, no rush, but just wanted to mention the money from last month, softens the moment while still addressing it honestly rather than letting resentment build silently. Next, from a listener named Denise, how do I politely decline an expensive activity with friends because of my budget?
Great common situation, Denise. You could say, that sounds fun, but it's a bit outside my budget right now. Could we do something a little more affordable instead? Honest, clear, and offers an alternative rather than just declining awkwardly.
Beautiful phrasing. Last one from a listener named Priya. Is it okay to talk about money struggles openly, or should I keep that private?
Great, thoughtful question, Priya. It really depends on your comfort level and relationship with the person. Both choices are completely valid. If you do choose to share, phrases like, money's been a bit tight lately, but I'm working through it, feel honest without over-explaining or feeling overly vulnerable.
Great questions today, everyone. Thanks for sending them in.
Quick shadowing exercise before practice time. We say a sentence, you repeat it out loud.
Sentence 1. Should we just split this evenly? Now you.
Sentence 2. I'd rather keep that private if that's okay. Now you.
Sentence 3. Would you mind lending me some money until payday? Now you.
Sentence 4. I'm saving up for a trip next year. Now you.
Sentence 5. That's a bit outside my budget right now. Now you.
Sentence 6. No rush, but just wanted to mention the money from last week. Now you.
Great job, everyone. Let's also review our full glossary quickly. Softening phrases. This might be a bit direct, but no worries if you'd rather not share. I'd rather keep that private.
Income and salary. Salary, wage, take-home pay. It's a pretty competitive salary. What's the salary range for this position?
Spending and saving. Budget. Splurge. Emergency fund. I'm saving up for. I'm trying to build a bigger emergency fund.
Borrowing and lending. Would you mind lending me? I'll pay you back. Don't worry about it. I've got this one.
Idioms. Tight budget. Break the bank. Live within your means. Penny pincher. Splash out.
What a complete toolkit, listeners. Review this glossary whenever you want a quick refresher before a real money conversation.
Let's give you one more useful resource. 10 different everyday money situations, each with a ready-to-use phrase.
Number 1, splitting a group dinner. Let's just use an app to split it evenly. Way easier than doing the math.
Number 2, declining an expensive invitation. That sounds fun, but it's a bit outside my budget this month.
Number 3, negotiating a price at a market. Would you be able to do a bit better on the price?
Number 4, discussing rent with a roommate. Should we split the utilities evenly or based on usage?
Number 5, asking about a gift budget. What's everyone thinking for a budget on the gift?
Number 6, discussing a raise with a manager. I'd like to discuss the possibility of a salary review based on my recent contributions.
Number 7, talking about a big purchase. We've been saving up for a new car for almost a year now.
Number 8, mentioning a financial setback casually. Things have been a little tight lately, but we're managing okay.
Number 9, offering to pay for a friend. Don't worry about this one. It's my treat.
Number 10, politely refusing an offer to pay for you. That's really kind, but honestly, let me get this one.
What a great range of everyday situations, listeners. 10 completely different moments, but every single phrase uses the same natural, comfortable tone we've been building throughout this episode.
Beautifully summarized. And honestly, once you internalize this tone, softening plus clarity plus warmth, you can navigate almost any money conversation with confidence.
Quick bonus vocabulary section. A few phrasal verbs that come up constantly in money conversations.
Great idea. First, pay off, meaning to fully repay a debt. I finally paid off my student loans last year.
Second, put aside, meaning to save gradually. I try to put a little every month for emergencies.
Third, cut back on, which we mentioned in our Bad Habits episode 2, meaning to reduce spending on something. We've been cutting back on eating out lately.
Fourth, splash out, which we already covered, but let's add shell out, meaning to reluctantly spend a large amount. We had to shell out a lot for the car repairs.
Fifth, pay someone back, meaning to return borrowed money. I'll pay you back as soon as I get paid.
Sixth, fork out, similar to shell out, an informal British phrase meaning to pay, often unwillingly, for something expensive. We had to fork out for a new washing machine.
Seventh, save up, meaning to gradually accumulate money for something specific. We're saving up for a trip to Japan next year.
Let's build an example combining a few. We had to shell out quite a bit for the car repairs this month, so we're cutting back on eating out for a while. Hopefully, we can still save up enough for our trip.
Perfect natural example, listeners. These phrasal verbs add real depth and fluency to money conversations.
Let's do one more role play, this time about splitting rent and utilities fairly with a roommate, a really common real-life money conversation.
Hey, I wanted to chat about how we're splitting the utilities. Is now an okay time?
Sure, what's on your mind?
I was thinking, since you work from home and you're out most days, maybe I should cover a bit more of the electricity bill since I probably use more.
Oh, that's really considerate of you to bring up. Honestly, I think that's fair. Maybe 60-40 instead of splitting evenly?
That sounds reasonable to me. Thanks for being open to it.
Of course, I appreciate you thinking about it fairly. See, listeners, notice how naturally and respectfully this potentially tricky roommate money conversation flowed. Honest, considerate, and completely free of tension.
Beautifully demonstrated. And honestly, this exact structure works well for so many shared living financial conversations.
Let's do one more role play, a slightly more delicate one, a gentle disagreement about money between family members.
I really think we should splurge a bit more on the wedding. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
I understand that feeling, but honestly, I think we should be a bit more careful with the budget. Weddings can get expensive fast.
That's fair. I don't want us to overspend either. Maybe we can splurge on just one or two things that really matter to us and keep everything else simple?
I really like that compromise. That feels like a good balance.
Great. Let's make a list of our top priorities this week.
Beautiful example, listeners. Notice how this disagreement used our earlier polite disagreement tools combined with today's money vocabulary, leading to a warm, collaborative compromise.
Beautifully demonstrated, showing how naturally these topics from different episodes can connect and support each other in real conversations.
Let's squeeze in a few more listener questions before practice time.
From a listener named Noor, is it okay to talk about money on a first date?
Interesting question, Noor. Generally, deep financial details are best saved for later, once trust is built. Lighter mentions, like discussing splitting the bill respectfully, are completely normal and appropriate even early on.
From a listener named Tobias, what if someone asks me directly how much I make and I don't want to lie but also don't want to share?
Great, honest question, Tobias. You can simply say, I'd rather not get into specific numbers, but I'm happy with where I'm at. Honest, boundary setting, and doesn't require lying at all.
Beautiful phrasing. Great questions today, everyone. Thanks so much for sending them in.
Let's cover one more reflective topic, describing your general relationship with money, your money mindset, which often comes up in deeper personal conversations.
Great addition. Useful phrases. I'm a pretty cautious spender. I like to plan things out. I tend to be more of a saver than a spender. I've always been a bit of a spender, but I'm working on being more mindful.
Great, honest self-descriptions. Let's also cover phrases for describing how your mindset has changed over time, connecting nicely to our used to structure from earlier episodes. I used to be pretty careless with money in my 20s, but I've become a lot more intentional since then.
Beautiful, honest phrase, showing real growth over time. Let's also mention phrases for describing money values, what really matters to you. I'd rather spend on experiences than things. Saving for security matters more to me than luxury purchases. I try to prioritize spending on what genuinely makes me happy.
Great values-based phrases, listeners, showing that money conversations aren't only about numbers, they're often really about priorities and personal values, too.
Let's build a full example. I'd say I'm more of a saver than a spender these days. I used to be pretty impulsive with purchases in my 20s, but now I really try to prioritize spending on experiences like travel rather than material things.
Beautiful, reflective example, listeners, showing real depth and self-awareness around money and personal values.
Let's cover one more common, sometimes tricky money topic: gift giving, birthdays, holidays, weddings, and group gift situations.
Great addition. Useful phrases for suggesting a group gift budget. What's everyone thinking for a budget on the gift? Should we set a cap, like $20 each? Let's keep it simple this year. Maybe just a card and a small gift.
Great practical phrases, especially useful for group chats organizing a shared gift.
Let's also cover phrases for politely managing your own gift-giving budget. I'd try to keep things thoughtful rather than expensive. I'm keeping things a bit simpler this year. Budget's a little tighter. I'd rather put more thought into it than spend a lot.
Beautiful, gracious phrases, showing that generosity isn't only measured by how much money is spent.
Let's also mention phrases for graciously receiving a gift, regardless of its size or cost. Thank you so much. This really means a lot. You really didn't have to, but I truly appreciate it. This is so thoughtful. Thank you.
great, warm phrases, listeners, showing genuine gratitude regardless of the gift's monetary value, which really is the healthiest, warmest approach to gift-giving conversations.
Beautifully summarized. Let's do one more role play before moving to practice time.
Let's do one final role play, a group chat-style conversation about organizing a birthday gift for a mutual friend.
Hey everyone, thinking we should get something for Maria's birthday next week. Any ideas?
Good idea. What's everyone thinking for a budget?
Maybe 25 each. That should give us a decent amount for something nice.
Sounds good to me. I'm in. Should we do a group gift or a card plus something small individually?
I think a group gift feels more special, honestly. Maybe that bag she was talking about last month?
Oh, that's a great idea. I remember her mentioning it. I'll go ahead and start a group chat to collect everyone's share.
Perfect. Thanks for organizing it.
See, listeners, notice how naturally and comfortably this group money conversation flowed? Clear numbers, easy agreement, and warm collaboration throughout.
Beautifully demonstrated. And honestly, this exact structure works perfectly for coordinating group gifts, group trips, or any shared group expense. Okay, listeners, let's practice. Speak your answers out loud, not just in your head.
First, practice splitting a bill with a friend using 2 different phrases from today's episode.
Second, practice asking about a salary range in a professional, respectful way.
Third, practice asking to borrow a small amount of money, and separately practice offering to lend money.
Fourth, describe one of your financial goals out loud using saving up for or putting aside.
Fifth, try using one idiom from today's episode in a natural sentence.
Great job, everyone. Comment below with one money phrase you're going to start using this week.
Quick recap. First, we explored why talking about money feels awkward, cultural taboo, fear of judgment, and lack of softer vocabulary.
Second, we built a general softening approach. Soften, state clearly, and acknowledge the other person's comfort.
Third, we built vocabulary across income, spending, saving, and debt.
Fourth, we practiced talking about salary respectfully, both asking and answering.
Fifth, we covered splitting bills, borrowing, and lending money comfortably.
Sixth, we practiced talking about financial goals and saving plans.
Seventh, we avoided common mistakes and explored cultural notes and useful idioms.
And finally, we practiced 4 full example conversations, plus 10 bonus everyday scenarios.
That's everything you need to talk about money honestly, respectfully, and comfortably in any English-speaking situation.
All right, that's it for today's episode. Next time money comes up in conversation, try using one of today's phrases, even just one.
If this episode helped you, please like it, subscribe to the podcast, and share it with someone learning English.
And comment below. Tell us your favorite money phrase from today's episode.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. Keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone. And remember, talking about money doesn't have to feel awkward. It just takes the right words and a little practice. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.